Hello, welcome to Getting Real with Andrew Cohen. We have a great show for you today. Today on the show we have CHRISTINE Kao. You guys might be wondering who that is, and you're right to wonder because she's not famous or anything, which is okay because I think what matters, and she's very talented. She's she's great, and she's my childhood friend, which is awesome because we went to preschool together, we went to kindergarten. It's really great. It's great talking to her because we haven't talked in a while, and it was great to catch up. How's everybody doing? It's going good. I was listening to a few podcasts this week, and they were like bringing up these the sexual harassment lawsuits between Louis C.K. and Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein, and it's really and these people did terrible things, atrocious things, and it's hard for some people, 'cause especially for people like who are big fans of Kevin Spacey or Louis C.K. That's very hard. Mark Maron did on his podcast. He was talking about because Louis is his best friend, and he's awful, and he's sad to hear about all the terrible things he's done. And I mean, it's hard for me too, because I guess personally I'm a big fan of both people. Like Kevin Spacey may be my second favorite actor of all time, and after this, I obviously everything he did is a terrible, atrocious, terrible, committed these terrible atrocities. And that's hard. That's hard to go past, and it's like your favorite actor. You find out he's done these terrible things, and it's sad. It's just sad, and it happens. It happens. I guess I'm not gonna say they don't deserve what happened to them. I think I'm gonna be honest here. I think Mark Maron discussed this, and I'm agreeing with him, which is that I think there needs to be a system. And what he talked about was, and I'm going to reiterate this, and if you listen to him, you'll probably get it, but there's a system of, if you commit a crime in the judicial system, this is what he said, if you commit a crime in the judicial system, and that there's a level of things you could, it's from burglary, or public drunkenness to murder or death penalty, and there's different consequences for different things. You murder somebody, you get life in prison. If if you break your probation or something, you go to jail for a month or something. So in the judicial system, there's a level of different consequences for your actions. In this, there's not really a level. It's and I'm not saying what these guys did was right, but sometimes it's hard to compare. Harvey Weinstein probably raped somebody, and it's terrible. But then Louis C.K., he did what he did, and then he apologized very sincerely. And, people were bashing his apology. What do you expect? He's doing the best he can. He's apologizing. People are criticizing his. What would you expect him to say in his apologies? He owned up to it. He, that's, again, not saying what he did was right. Obviously not. But he owned up to it. And there should be a system of ranking between, how much one guy is condoned versus another, and I think it's different. Hang on, guys, 1 sec. What is the Amazon Prime password? Is from my sister. I don't know. That's a problem. What the hell? What do you want me to say? I'll text her after I'm done. Of course, she's gonna call every single line in the house. Start with me, then my mom, then my dad, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think there needs to be a ranking for this stuff, and it's just, I think sometimes and there's not, and that's the thing. But I guess the point of what I'm saying is it's hard, if you're a fan of these people to realize what these people have done and how to feel about it. And who actually talked about that was, who does a good job is Dave Chappelle, when he in his special in his one of his 2 specials for Netflix, he discussed Bill Cosby, and when he was doing jokes about the allegations, and he got serious for a second. He was like, look, it's hard to forget some of the things he did. He's the first, he's one of the first African Americans who won an Emmy. He worked with colleges. He worked with colleges to make sure many African Americans got through college. He made sure that there was no sort of offensive stereotypes in his show, The Cosby Show. So like he's saying, it's kind of comparable because it's hard to realize some of this stuff, and I guess you could say the same can be said for Kevin Spacey. He's a great actor. He's brought joy to a lot of people. He he's done really great in all his roles. He's an amazing actor. And so, it's kind of comparable. So, and I guess what I'm just saying, I've been trying to process, what's going on here. And I mean, I know it's been a while and all this stuff has happened recently, but it still goes through my head that, these people that I admired have done this stuff, and it's just really hurtful, That's really it about me. So Christine Kao is here. Christine is a childhood friend of mine, and she's amazing. She's very talented. She's great to talk to, and and so what does she do? She's an ice. See, this is what happened in the interview. I kept messing this up. I kept saying she's a dancer when she's actually an ice skater. She does ice skating, and she used to do synchronized ice skating for TeenUSA, which is a thing where I guess they take ice skaters and they go all around the world and they represent the U.S., which is super cool. And she was a part of that last year, and we talk all about that. And I was kind of goofy in this one, a little lighthearted because of our familiarity. If you guys think, if you listen to it, I go off the podcast for off the interview for a second because I look something up, and she got it from my mom, smart one. But and it was fun. It was fun to talk to her. It was really funny. It was a lot of laughs and joys and talking about life and college. And before I just want to say, if you're an adult out there and you listen to this, stop asking us about college, okay? We are fucking sick of it. It is annoying, and we don't like it. So stop asking us about college, okay? It's fine. We're going to say the same answer every time. Yes, it's going fine. Yes, it's going fine. I'm applying to blah, blah, blah. I'm applying to shit, fuck. Yeah, oh my God, he just swear for the first time in a while. Oh my God. No, it's just, I only swear when I need to be sincere. And please listen to the interview. It was great to talk to her, and I think it was a lot of fun to do. And please enjoy. So my name is Andrew Cohen, and this is Getting Real with Andrew Cohen. Let's do it.
Ace Podcast.
Hi, Christine. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. It was interesting how I got you on the show. It was like it was as if I had known you for like a really long time or something. It was just so.
Yeah, it's definitely not like we went to the same pre-K together or anything.
Exactly.
Or that we went down to face each other.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the truth is, I was like, I have nobody this week. Why don't I call my neighbor?
Oh, thanks. So I'm like your last choice.
It was. Don't worry. That there was a lot of choices underneath you.
Okay.
Sure.
Then.
Honestly, I wanted like Finn Wolfhard, who is like he stars in Stranger Things.
Love Stranger Things.
Yeah, I wanted him first, and then it was you. So trust. So there was. You're second to Finn Wolfhard. That's pretty impressive, though.
That's very high up.
Yeah, I'm going to be interviewing him.
Oh, actually, that's so insane.
Yeah, that is insane. I said that like that. I'm sorry. I said that rudely. I was like, yeah, that is insane. Thank you for no. But yeah, that was crazy getting that one. That one's not going to be for a while though. So let's get into it. How's I guess every single question you get is like, how's college? Does anybody ever ask you how you're doing as a person?
Definitely not. But my answer to that is still the same. It's like, it's fine, but not really. But it's fine, right?
Yeah,
just is it
fine? Is it fine?
Definitely not.
Yeah, you don't seem too sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stressful, but living my best life, making okay choices.
Making okay choices, not good choices, I see. Okay, that'll be something for the therapist. Yeah, that's the secret. After this interview, we're going to see a therapist for. It's mainly for me, but you're also going to be there, and it's going to be dual therapy.
I'll definitely need it.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you something about college, but then I was like, okay, then I'd be a hypocrite.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What colleges are you applying to? I know. Yeah.
Basically all of them. I have
every single one.
Their decision. I have 3 that are due November 15th, and 4 that were already sent out. So.
Every single one. That's a lot of colleges. It's there's like every single college. That's
okay. Fine, whatever. Bit of a hyperbole, but 22 colleges lined up at the moment.
Yeah, I know we haven't talked to each other in a while, but I've developed. A lot of people find me very frustrating to talk to.
Not at all.
Oh God, this is turning out terrible. Yeah. But what are the names of the colleges?
Well, I have a bunch. Some I have like University of Michigan lined up, UCLA, UC Berkeley, a couple Ivies, and then yeah.
What's like the top choice? What's the kicker?
I'm trying not to have a top just in case I don't get in, so I don't get too disappointed. So yeah.
Well, what's like the range? Like, what is near the top? Like, do you have like a top 3 or something or like that?
I guess. There's schools that I'm most likely not going to get into, but I just really liked it when I visited there. So I really liked Harvard, Brown, and Columbia. So, and Georgetown.
Harvard, Brown, and Columbia.
And Georgetown.
And Georgetown. Okay, so you have like 3 Ivy Leagues, and then one just kind of like, just in case the Ivy Leagues don't work out. There's always DC.
No,
I'm confident. I have a lot of confidence because you go to I know you guys know this. There's a school in Greenwich. It's called Greenwich Academy, where you go
Yep.
apparently.
Where it's 95% white, but yes.
90.
I'm like 100% serious. I'm not even joking. If you look at our portfolio for diversity on niche.com, we have a C-.
that was I mean that was a better joke than I was gonna say. I was gonna say Greenwich Academy, where she likes to pretend she's better than Stanford. That's what your thing was so much better. That was a classic.
Oh, but it's not a joke.
That's what it's funniest. It's funniest when it's not true. That's like the election. It's like, what's that noise?
That is my distaste at the orange dumb nut that is our president.
Orange dumb nut that's our president. That's quoting from someone who's trying to get into 3 Ivy League schools. The orange dumb nut.
Well, it's accurate, so.
Oh yeah, definitely accurate. But I mean, if you look at it, if somebody wrote the events that happened in the past like year, somebody been like, "That's a really funny book," and then
good thing that didn't happen. But
yeah,
wait.
then you can like look at them and get them fair. It's like, yeah, that book's real, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna swear, but I'm.
It's
like,
called The Series of Unfortunate Events.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Bad beginning.
The bad begin. Well, it's kind of like I have the books. 1 second. Let me find which book we're in. 1 sec. I'm gonna leave for like a minute so you could just start talking. Wherever you can, like, if you have an ad for something, if you want to do some advertising for yourself, now's the time. While I find which book I think we're in our presidency. So there you go.
Yeah, totally. So right now I am a team leader for Safe Rides, which is a volunteer program that allows teens to get home safely from their parties in Greenwich back to their houses back in Greenwich. So this program is basically used to make sure that we have teens not drinking and driving at the same time. And so you get to really contribute back to the community by making sure that these teens stay off the roads and keeping other people safe. So this is completely free for the teens, and we're always on the lookout for more volunteers. You don't need to know how to drive in order to participate, but you just need to be able to take calls and write, so hopefully you all can do that. And if you can do that, you should prove it to me by showing up to our next Safe Rides meeting, which is on December 5th from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And it's a really great time, so I hope to see you all there.
Yeah, okay, so I'm back, and I heard, like, bits and pieces of that. So it's a team-building thing about driving.
Nope, false.
This is a new game that we have. It's called Andrew Trying to Put Together the Pieces.
Yes, you're very bad at this game.
Okay, so it's about something about team building. Am I right? I know is there a team building in there?
False.
Wow.
You're wrong.
I thought because before I took off my headphones, I heard something about team building. Okay. So give me Oh, team leader. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, but there's something about driving in there, right?
Sort of, yeah. So basically,
yes, I got. Yeah.
You can. So basically, teens can get back to the houses from parties, and we have these certified drivers and volunteers who help navigate where they need to go, and the service operates in Greenwich, anywhere in Greenwich to their houses back in Greenwich.
Oh wow, you guys really need that. And I'm saying that because I've been to Greenwich, and you guys really need that.
You're not wrong.
I'm not. I'm not. I was pulled over in Greenwich.
Seriously.
I wasn't driving. It was my friend, and he wasn't even drunk. He kind of made it look like he took a drunk turn, but he hadn't. So,
right.
but they're on the look.
Yeah,
so I couldn't find the books. Now my room's a mess. But now I just Googled it, which in retrospect I should have done from the beginning.
Definitely would have been faster.
Yeah. Wish I knew that sooner. Oh yeah, and this is, I don't know if you guys know, this is why my podcast isn't getting big, is because of my procrastination and my ADD, where I don't listen to people and I don't I don't listen to what they say, and then I make the person repeat themselves. That's why I'm never successful.
No worries.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's the bad beginning, and there's not really a book that, because they're not really like times of places. There's like the reptile room, the wide window, the miserable mill, the austere academy, the
That's called Greenwich Academy.
austere. That's true. I bet that's true. I mean, I haven't been there, granted, but based on what you're saying, I'm guessing it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only part we can hope for is the last one, which is the end.
Ugh, the end is so far away, but we are 1/4 of the way there.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, if there was a place like the Quarter Quandary, I guess if there was a title called that, I guess that would be our current situation.
Yeah. But alas, getting closer day by day to the end.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say something. I never understood his slogan. When he says
what was great about America, because
exactly. I was like, when was the first time?
It had to happen in the first place.
Yeah, when was America ever good? Throughout our entire country's history, there's always been a racism problem. There's always been like a homophobic problem, corruption.
Yes, definitely.
Sexual harassment. There's always been a problem in our society. There's never been a great part, so moving on from Trump, moving on from the quote from the Ivy League hopeful, the orange, what did you say?
Dumb nut.
The orange dumb nut. Moving on from the orange dumb nut. So what did you see about, like, I like talking about teenagers about college, and what did you see about the college that made it stand out to you, like Brown or Harvard, or besides its reputation, I mean?
So for Harvard and Brown, I actually got to spend a couple of weeks on campus. So Harvard, I did a summer program where I got to stay on campus for 2 weeks and got to take one of the lecture courses there on regenerative medicine. So what I really loved about my experience there was all the people I got to meet and really how the class was structured. So I also got the chance to explore Boston and Cambridge, and I feel like that's what I'm really looking for in one of my, as a potential place for me to go to college, somewhere that has a nice mix between the industrial urban life and the suburban part.
Mm-hmm. So you're really looking for some place with like a city.
Yes, but I'm not positive about New York City because that's a little bit too urban. I'm really picky, so
and close.
I need somewhere that has enough greenery, but not just jungle.
Mm-hmm. And close. Are you looking? Do you want to go somewhere that's like kind of farther or closer to home?
Location's not as much of a concern for me, but I have some schools like west but most of my schools are on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. And I also have another question. Do you I guess, or do you know people? This could be or could not be. Do you know schools people who are like choosing these schools based off of reputation and not really liking the school? Because I mean, it seems like, I guess in your case with like Brown and Harvard, like you've seen the area, you've seen the place, like you really like the place. But do you know anybody in Greenwich who see these schools and who just know their reputation and be like, yeah, I want to go to the Harvard, and then you ask them why, it's like, well, because it's Harvard. It's Harvard, you know. Mark Zuckerberg went there, and all the other people, but mostly him.
Yeah. I'm sure that there are plenty of people who just consider the prestige of the school, but I would not be able to tell you very much because in our school, the college process is still very, closed door, so no one really knows where the other person's applying or not applying.
So it's kind of like Battle Royale for colleges. In your school, it's like who's going to be the last one to get into Princeton.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend who goes to the school in New York City. Do you know the school? It's called Bronx Science.
Yes.
Yeah, so he goes there, and apparently they kind of force their students to become engineers. It's like it's because they have a really high percentage rate of because they want to keep their percentage rate of engineers graduating, or people who want to go into engineering from their school. So they kind of tell kids what their future is before it's like, I want to paint. He's like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
So this
Come
is
on.
basically like The Giver.
It is basically like The Giver. It's like you stand up and you're saying, okay, here's your job. Have fun. It's like going to a trade school. It's like instead of saying you can do anything, it's like, okay, here we go. You can graduate and then you can do one of 8 things.
Fantastic.
Mhm. So, what else? I mean, what else is going on in your life? What do you do when you're not pretending to be better than Stanford?
There's no need to pretend.
No need to pretend. That's exactly right. That's the answer.
So I don't know. I feel like last year I was more interesting. Last year I was on Team USA for synchronized ice skating.
Teen USA, what's that? I know it's synchronized ice skating. What's Teen USA? What is it? Is it like a program or?
As in, we represent the country when we go to international competitions.
Oh crap! Oh crap! That's so cool.
I don't know how else to explain Team USA. Like the people who represent the country.
Okay. I thought there was a more
in the country.
I didn't realize it was that big. I don't know why did I didn't think that was bigger. That's so cool. How did that work? How did you get there?
So it took me literally a decade of training in synchronized ice skating before I actually made it to Team USA last year. So I got to tryouts, and immediately I was told, you're going to need to be taller. So I was like,
oh no.
I'm like, this is problematic. So I actually got these pairs of skates that have these gigantic lifts on them. If you kind of imagine like a giant slab of wood on at the bottom of the sole, kind of like wedges.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But basically I learned how to skate in those, and yeah.
So it's like high heels for skaters?
Basically, yes.
That's so cool. Why didn't you mention that in the first place? You could just... You
started me on college. What am I supposed to do? What college do you want to go to? I'm on Team USA.
You could have just said that. I mean, honestly, you could have just butted in and said that. I mean, probably half the listeners or listeners that I wish I had are like off the call right now because of college, and then they're missing out on this whole part. I'm gonna have to like restructure this whole call.
Slice it and make it first.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to like restructure the entire call so people hear this thing, and then they're like, oh, this is so cool, and then they have to hear. No, the college stuff is cool too. You know, everybody wants to hear. All the adults like to pretend. They're like, "Oh my God, how's college going? How's everything going?
How do you think? Really?
How do you think? I just want to kill myself. What do you think?"
Honestly, big mood. Big mood.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the type of humor in my band. That's the whole thing with like the hyperbole of suicide.
Haha. Yes. And how it becomes just humor. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just put a really awkward phase in the call.
A little bit.
Like, yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Anyways, that's okay. So, like, where did you? Okay, moving on from that subject, we'll take that out. We'll delete that. It'll be edited together. It's fine. We have a great team. So tell me more about this. So, where did you like travel?
So we had one competition in Austria and another competition in Croatia. So that was really exciting.
You went to Austria and Croatia?
Croatia.
Croatia. Okay. I'm like a 6-year-old compared to like, I'm like, God, dude, that's so cool! You went to Croatia and Australia, man!
Austria, not Australia.
I said, did I say Australia?
Yeah, you did.
Right. That's so cool. That's so cool. I wish I could do cool things like. Okay, never mind. I'm losing track of myself. I should have took my Adderall. I have ADD. I have Ritalin, so that's the thing. Anyways, no, I'm sorry. I went off topic for a second. That's my apologies.
No worries.
So you went to Croatia, right? Am I saying that right? Croatia and Austria. And like, how long are you there for? Are you able to like experience the culture?
We were there for about 6 days, so we did get to go into the old city for a little bit. So we got to really go through a lot of the shops and take a look at some of the architecture and the local traditions.
Mhm. And is this like a structured thing? Is it like, how structured is your visiting time? Is it like, you know, is like everybody with a chaperone, everybody gets free? Like how much are you guys like supervised?
Actually, it was pretty freeing because most of the girls on my team were college level because we're just like we're the highest competitive level. So most of us are able to stick in like groups of 2 or 3 or more if you want. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty loose. You just have to like back at one point.
Because they were in the college level, were you able to learn a lot about, you know, what college is like and stuff like that?
Yeah, and whenever I had to miss, like, large spans of school, I always had my teammates to really help me out with the subject because I had a couple who were just, like, really smart, so.
Mm-hmm. Where did they go?
One was accepted into Yale and eventually decided to go to, Ithaca? Not sure what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway,
yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
How are you good at that?
But anyway, we had another who got into Duke, U Chicago, Stanford, UPenn, Brown, bunch of all over.
Okay, so you're getting like quality help. You don't want to like have somebody help you and like, oh, where do you go to college? I go to Norwalk Community College. Whoa, like you're getting, you know. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh no. We have some people who are actually out of college and working. So.
Oh, okay. Are those like chaperones, or they're actually in like
Nope,
the company?
they're on our team.
Oh, so are like how I guess how young does it go?
There's no cutoff age, but we have some who are 25, I want to say.
Oh.
26.
And then there's you.
Then there's that 17, 16-year-old. So yes.
Okay, so are you like the youngest, or are you able to find people like your age?
Oh no, yeah, we have a bunch of juniors, sophomores. Well, less sophomores, but a lot of juniors and seniors on there.
A lot of juniors. Okay, so you weren't like alone, basically.
Definitely not.
That's good. So I mean, so there's this. What else did you do last year that was so interesting? I mean, now I'm finding out about all this.
That was mostly it. It was kind of all-consuming because we had 13 hours of practice each week. So I mean,
is that legal?
Child labor.
Is that legal? Is that legal? Because I know there's like some rules and like I know there's a rule in like Texas where I think like high school students, like in Texas they're big on like marching band, and I think there's like a rule that you can't make them practice for more than 8 hours in a week or something like that. So you know,
we definitely don't have that. So
okay, so I mean so you're basically dancing for a criminal organization.
Basically, it's
essentially
very political who gets to skate and everything. So
it's very political.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's pay to play, basically, and that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Oh, so okay. I was gonna ask more questions about that.
I'm not back this year.
I was gonna ask more questions about that, but you probably don't want it released to the public.
Might become a little bit biased, so.
Yeah, but we're like, Christine, she's not dancing anymore. Take her off the list. No, if you're listening to this and you're from TeenUSA, please let her be back on. She's most likely a wonderful dancer.
I don't want it.
Oh, you don't want it? You don't want, like, what happened? Was it like very high, like timing, high stress? Like, what happened?
Definitely that. But I also don't believe in the political pay for play. So I just really didn't like the environment of that. So I decided that this year I would not be doing it. Oh,
so you took a stand.
Yes, in a manner.
You took a political stand.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
And that matters. So you know, yeah. So I mean, so you've been dancing for how long?
Skating.
Skating. Oh my God, skating up. Yeah. Skating.
I've been skating since I was 5, so 12 years.
Oh, so it paid off finally. You got to go to Croatia.
Oh yeah. Synchronized ice skating I've been doing for 10 years, but skating I've been doing for 12.
So, and also I also know last time I spoke to you, before I spoke to you to try to get the interview, do you still play the flute?
Yes, I do.
You still play the flute. What do you in what capacity?
I'm principal of my orchestra.
You're principal of your orchestra. What does principal mean? What does that mean?
I'm the
or is
first
that like?
As in, like, I get the.
Oh,
part,
okay.
I get
understand.
Like, the first part for everything.
Okay, what's your? Is that like? Is this like the Greenwich Academy Orchestra, or is this like an independent orchestra that you auditioned for?
This isn't an independent that I auditioned for. Yes. So we actually meet in Greenwich. We meet at Temple Sinai, and that's where we practice. Oh.
Okay, so like how big is that? Like how big is that orchestra? Like how?
Ooh, I want to say it's about 35 people.
35 people? Is there any is there any more for okay, does that include every instrument, or is there just, because I mean that seems pretty small.
Yeah. I think it's about that because we have a smaller brass section, brass and woodwind. But we have a lot of violinists and cellists, so a very large string section.
Okay. So if the string section sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
No wonder.
So your string section, oh crap! I literally just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
They're not very good.
They're not very good. Like, how are you? Okay, there we go. I'm back on now. How are you? How do you think you are compared to like your everybody else in the call? I mean everybody else in the orchestra.
I'd say that I'm pretty on par skill-wise, like somewhere near the top, just because I have a lot of experience. I've been playing the flute since I was in 3rd grade, so I've been playing for 9 years. So I would say that I'd be somewhere near the top.
Okay.
Just due to experience.
I mean, it's okay to talk about it. It's not like, I know a lot of people are afraid, like, oh, this is me being narcissistic or arrogant. But yeah,
I think that I'm somewhere close to the top.
You can, that's fair to say. You can say that about yourself. unless obviously it's you. Unless you like suck, and then you can't say, oh, I'm close to the top. Then you there's a certain amount of self honesty that you have to be with yourself and self.
Yes, definitely. Self-reporting, yes.
Mhm. So, yeah. I think that is about it. So yeah, I think that's about it that I can think of. Is there anything? So, what do you think you want to do with your life? This is my last.
Wow, that's a big question. But theoretically,
that's a big yeah.
I'd be going to med school because I want to get my doctorate, or at least my MD.
Your doctorate or your wow, that's very high in the educational world. Yeah, that's really cool. And so thank you so much for talking to me, Christine. I really appreciate this.
No, of course. Thank you so much.
I hope you had fun, even though I was a total disaster.
No, definitely not. I really liked catching up with you.
Oh yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.